everybody. Okay, so this is going to be a PowerPoint that will go through your classifying quadrilateral book. So go ahead and find your little booklet. It's about the half size of a piece of paper. It's stapled together and it says classifying quadrilateral book. At the top, there's a line. Go ahead and put your name. So mine would, the top would say Mrs. Peachy's classifying quadrilateral book. And then open up to the first page. On the first page, it says, what is a quadrilateral? We know that quad means four because we studied that for our vocabulary. So quad is four and lateral means sides. So quadrilateral means four sides. On the next page, it says, what is a quadrilateral at the top? And you have a diagram showing you that at the very top, we've got polygons. And underneath it, it says quadrilaterals. That means all quadrilaterals are polygons. And then underneath quadrilaterals, you have all the different categories of quadrilaterals. You have square, rectangle, trapezoid, parallelogram, rhombus, kite, and irregular. Irregular means it's a shape with four straight sides, but it doesn't fit into any of the other categories. It says quadrilaterals are one type of polygon. They are closed figures with four sides made of straight line segments. What I want you to do is go ahead and you're going to draw each of these shapes underneath the category, and you can press pause to do that and then click play when you're ready to go. Okay, so you should have finished drawing all of those shapes. And now go to the next page. The next page, we're going to write the definition of a quadrilateral. It says a quadrilateral has, on your paper, you're going to see 3 bullet points like these, and then you have 3 lines to the right of them. You're going to write down these 3 things. Quadrilateral, a quadrilateral has straight sides. That's going to be your first bullet. The second bullet, you're going to write 4 sides or edges. And then for the third bullet, you're going to write 4 corners or angles. They're also called vertices. Again, you can pause the video and then press play when you're ready to go. Okay, at the bottom of your paper, it says, why is a square the only regular quadrilateral? And down here is our answer. A square is the only regular quadrilateral because it has 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. So what I want you to do is I'm going to try and highlight it for you. I only want you to write this. I only want you to write what's highlighted at the bottom of your paper. It has 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. So it is the only quadrilateral that has that. Again, press pause if you need more time to write it, and then press play when you're ready to go. Okay, on the next one, it says to draw examples of quadrilaterals and non-quadrilaterals in the boxes below. So here are some examples of quadrilaterals and non-quadrilaterals. So I am going to click out of this real quick. And get back in so that I can move them around, okay? So we know that quadrilaterals have 4 sides and 4 angles, and not quadrilaterals wouldn't. So look at this first shape. You can count the sides. It has 1, 2, 3, 4. So that would be a quadrilateral. That would be an irregular quadrilateral, okay, because it doesn't fit into any of the categories that we talked about. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. Again, an irregular one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So again, we're just looking for shapes that have 4 sides. That would be quadrilaterals. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides. So that would not be a quadrilateral. This has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 sides. That is not a quadrilateral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides would not be a quadrilateral. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides again. And this one does not have any straight lines, so it's not a quadrilateral. And the last one has 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral. So here are some examples of quadrilaterals and some shapes that are not quadrilaterals. So again, you just need to draw maybe 3 in each box on your paper. You can use these for examples, or you can draw your own. And then you can press pause and press play when you're ready to go. Okay, so you should be ready to go on to the next page. It says a square. Then it has 2 bullet points. You're going to write down a square has 4 equal sides in length, and it has 4 90-degree right angles. So those are the 2 things you're going to write on this page. And again, down here, it tells you a square is the only regular quadrilateral because it has 4 equal sides and 4 equal angles. If you need more time, press pause. Okay, moving on to the next page, we're going to talk about a rectangle. A rectangle has opposite sides that are parallel, opposite sides that are equal in length, and 4 right angles. So it's very similar to a square, except a square has all 4 sides are equal, and in a rectangle, only the opposite sides are equal in length. So that's the difference between a square and a rectangle. Go ahead and press pause if you need more time to write. Okay, the next page is a trapezoid. You only have one thing to write for a trapezoid. It has 1 pair of opposite sides are parallel. So for a trapezoid, you can see the top and the bottom lines are parallel. They are the same distance apart from each other, and they're going in the same direction. But if you look at the 2 sides, if you were to extend those lines, at some point they're going to cross because they are pointed inward. They're not the same space away from each other. They're actually getting closer together as they go up. So eventually they're going to cross. So they are not parallel. So again, for this one, just write 1 pair of opposite sides are parallel. Okay, for a parallelogram, opposite sides are parallel and opposite sides are equal in length. Okay, so again, the top and bottom lines are parallel, and here the 2 side lines are parallel. They're moving in the same direction. They are the same distance apart from each other. Their lines are never going to cross. So again, top and bottom are parallel, and the 2 sides are parallel. So opposite sides are parallel, and the opposite sides are equal in length. Okay, so if you notice, this almost looks like a rectangle, except what? What's it missing? Okay, if you said right angles, you were correct. So this shape, it would look like would be a rectangle if we had 90-degree right angles in the corners, but they're not. It's kind of like it's tilted. It's a rectangle that's been tilted, so it does not have right angles. So that's why it is not a rectangle. All right, on the next page, you've got a rhombus. For a rhombus, all sides are equal in length and opposite sides are parallel. So if you look at the first one, all sides are equal in length. What does that sound like? Okay, it sounds like a square, right? All sides are equal in length and the opposite sides are parallel. So if you look at it though, it doesn't really look like a square. What is it missing? If you said right angles, you're correct. It almost looks, if you tilt your head, it looks like a square that's been squished. Okay, so it has 4 equal sides, and the sides are parallel, but it's missing the right angles. So it is a rhombus, not a square. Okay, for a kite looks just like that. If you look to the side, this could be a kite that you put up in the sky and run with it and let it fly in the sky. It has 2 pairs of sides. Each pair meets at a vertex, making them adjacent sides, meaning the 2 sides meet, okay, at a point, and each adjacent side is equal in length. So for this one, it's not opposite sides, it's adjacent sides, meaning the 2 lines touch. They meet at a point. So if you see at the top of the kite, this line and this line, they are adjacent because they touch each other. They are equal length. And then the 2 lines at the back, they meet at a vertex or at a point, and they are equal size as well. So it's not opposite sides are equal, it's adjacent sides are equal. Again, press pause to write down this information and then press play again. Okay, the last page. Okay, on here, I know the shapes are pretty small. So if you can't write the word within the shape, maybe write it off to the side or underneath it or up above it, but go ahead and label your shapes. You've got a parallelogram. Again, it looks like a rectangle, but it doesn't have the right angles. It's kind of like a smushed rectangle. And underneath parallelograms, you have 3 shapes. You've got a rectangle, a rhombus, and a square, because they all fit the definition of a parallelogram. Opposite sides are parallel. Then over here you have a trapezoid and a kite. So if you notice also on this page, a square can be a rectangle and a square can be a rhombus, because the definition of a rectangle is opposite sides are equal and parallel and 90-degree angles. A square has opposite sides that are parallel and 90-degree angles. So it fits the description of a rectangle. So a square can be a rectangle, but a rectangle cannot be a square, because a square has to have 4 equal sides and a rectangle does not. So a square can also be a rhombus, because the definition of a rhombus is 4 equal sides and opposite sides are parallel. And a square has 4 equal sides and opposite sides are parallel. So a square can be a rhombus. But a rhombus cannot be a square, because in order to be a square, it has to have right angles. And the rhombus does not have right angles. So kind of interesting. So if somebody asks you, can a square be a rectangle? You say, yes, a square can be a rectangle, a square can be a rhombus, but a rectangle and a rhombus cannot be a square. Okay, so you're going to hang on to this booklet because it has all the definitions of the different quadrilaterals, and you can use this as a resource when you're doing your math work and when you're answering the questions. Okay, all right, so go ahead and keep this in a handy spot. Don't lose it. Great job.